Welcome back to our channel. We hope that you are loving the content that we are providing because we really do believe that when you apply what you learn, you'll grow out loud, darling. Guys, I'm Amy House, and this is what I call a growing out loud, darling moment. So recently I asked some people on our social media, what would they like to learn about? What would they like to know if they could sit down and have coffee with me? And one of the things that came up, and Darren, thanks for asking, was how do you come up with your why? What is the why? What is all the things about the why? We read books about the why and the why. And we're told that if we have the right kind of why, we'll be all motivated, get up every day, inspired, passionate, doing all this stuff. And yes and no. Yes and no. So there are actually three types of whys. And I'm going to tell you that I've had all three. And when you say, well, shouldn't a why be a thing that you always have? Well, you do, but as you move forward, as you achieve goals and dreams and maybe even have some experiences and gain some wisdom, maybe your why will change. And sometimes in the changing, the transition of a why, we don't feel as motivated, and sometimes we feel a little sluggish, and then people think, well, I'm not supposed to do this anymore, and that's not how it actually works. So let's talk about the three kinds of whys. Most of the time, they fall into three categories. The first one being what I call the rock bottom why. A lot of people will change a career or start a business, maybe join a network marketing company, whatever that looks like for you, but they will do it because something has happened in their world that's not so pleasant. Maybe there's an inflationary cycle and they're struggling to pay the bills. Maybe they find themselves underwater in debt and they need to pay some things off. Maybe they have young children and suddenly there's a lot of expenses. There's sports and braces and glasses and cheer camp and you name it and all this stuff. But there is this rock bottom moment of, I have a need, I got to fill the need, and I'm feeling the pressure, the anxiety, the worry, and I need to find something in there that I can do it. And so they start a business, they start a side hustle, they join a network marketing company, they do something different to meet the need, but they are driven by this feeling of, I need more, I don't have enough, maybe it's a feeling of lack, whatever it is, but it creates this mojo and hustle. And for some of us, that works. I will tell you that at the beginning of my business, I was driven by rock bottom. I needed a transition in my career, absolutely hated what I was doing, was completely burnt out, like disillusioned, you name it, needed to change it. I joined a network marketing company, I started my firm, and the hustle was real, guys. I mean, I still had children at home. There were still debts to pay. There was all this stuff. And so I was driven every morning by the things that I needed to accomplish because there was this need. Okay? Then there's a second type of why, and this is the one that I call the rock star why. These are sometimes you will go to seminars and conferences and people will say, write down 100 dreams, and you'll write down 30 and they'll go, not enough, you need to think bigger, like limousines at Christmas and Christmas tree decorators, and that you have a second home in Greece, and you're thinking, well, all those things sound nice, but that's not really me. But there are people that are very motivated by that. They want the small land yacht. They want the second or third or fourth home. They want the big jewelry. They want the luxury car. They want to travel the world and do it all the time. These are people that I call rock star wise. They have a lifestyle that they're wanting to pursue. It's not that they're unhappy with what they have or they're dissatisfied. It's just that they have these dreams of more, and there's nothing wrong with having dreams of more. Many of us have rock star dreams. I mean, I have rock star dreams too. There are things like my screensaver is a convertible that I want. I mean, here's the deal, guys. You're going to have some of those, but some people are heavily driven by the rock star. Maybe they went from rock bottom, now they're at rock star. But if this is you, make it work, guys. I mean, if those big dreams motivate you every day, fan-freaking-tastic. A lot of people that have this kind of why will have vision boards of things and trips and experiences. They are driven by that. The third type of why is what I call rock solid. And this is where I see a lot of long-term entrepreneurs, long-term network marketers, long-term side giggers get to where they've met all of the lack needs, right? They've achieved some of their rock star moments, and now they are just in it to build what they call a solid foundation. It's security, peace, resources. They're investing in other businesses, properties. They are giving generously everywhere they go. They're more about creating a life that feels peaceful, harmonious with who they are, who they've become, and the work that they've put in. All three whys are powerful. All three. And sometimes you will have a little bit of all of them. Maybe you're needing to pay off some debt, but you also want to do some traveling and you want to give. Maybe you fall into the spectrum of the rock bottom, rock star, and rock solid. But finding your why is a very personal process. And it's not about judging it based on what everybody else is doing and letting everybody else's why be what it is. I mean, even as a network marketer, I have to recognize that on my team, I have people that are needing the money because there are bills to pay and children to provide for. I have others that do it so that they can have the once a year massive 3-week trip that they dream of all the time. And then I have others that are very committed to giving and building this solid foundation and a legacy for their family. Everybody's needs and wants are different. Your why will probably fall in one of those three categories, and it's going to change. So be okay with that. Guys, if you have questions about that, or you're just like wanting to comment on something that I've said today, make sure you comment below our video. We'd love to hear what you have to say. Make sure you share this with someone on your team or business that needs to hear it. And make sure you've subscribed, because you never know what we're going to say next.